Hello and welcome to day one of competition at the WSPS World Cup here in Al-Ain 2025. My name is Rory McAllister. I'll be your commentator, and this is our first event of day one. We have two finals for you today, and we're about to get underway with the P3 mixed 25 metre pistol in the SH1 category. So thank you for joining us on YouTube, also on the Paralympic channel. There's Jörg Klopp, our Chief Range Officer from Germany, who has just called the athletes to the line. So if the electronic targeting system registers a 10.2 or higher, that will constitute as a hit. Well, Christina David, so experienced, the first to come in to the finals hall.
Big applause for the Indian with a qualification score of 665 points. The gold medalist of the Para Games in Tokyo with P4. He's here with his coach Subhash. This is Manish.
Again, another very experienced athlete. So experienced is Manish Nawal, the first of three Indian athletes in this final. So Shui Hajing from People's Republic of China takes a bow, and in her first WSPS World Cup final. And Jakub Košek of Czechia is next. So Nihal Singh, the second athlete from India to be introduced in front of the crowd here in Al-Ain. So Carlos Alberto Linares, he looks ready, representing Spain.
With a qualification score of 556 points, she is representing Uzbekistan, was 5th place at the P2 World Championships in Lima. And we have a look on the scoreboard. Several other finals on World Cup and Asian Para Games are on their card. Her coach is Jelena Kuznetsova, and this is Shahnoza Amajanova.
So athlete from Uzbekistan, Shahnoza Mamajanova, gold medalist here in Al-Ain in the P4 2 years ago, 2023 in the World Cup.
He has nothing on his scoreboard, but this will change today, I think. The coach, this is Amir Ahmad.
And third athlete to be introduced from India, Amir Ahmed Bhatt. Plenty of medals for this athlete, and plenty of medals right the way across the 8 athletes in this P3 mixed 25 metre pistol final in the SH1 category. So our jury in charge is Eddie Lim of Singapore. And Jörg Klopp of Germany will be our Chief Range Officer. There he is, just taking his seat. So that's what happened in qualification earlier today. That highest score of 5.77 from Nihal Singh of India, but not far behind on 5.73, and the rest of the chasing pack on 5.66. And as you can see, then moving down to 8th place with Sui Haijing of People's Republic of China, qualifying for this final, and in her first final at a WSPS World Cup, and she is on firing point G. So wherever you are watching from around the world, thank you very much for coming along. Feel free to join in on the live chat. It's always good to go through your comments and sharing the love of shooting and who it is that you're here to support. So the preparation time now for this final has begun. So just looking at some of the comments on the live chat on YouTube. Hello to Rahul Chopda. Are there any Indians here? Yeah, there's 3. And possibly more watching. But there's 3 Indian athletes in this final. India once again just showing how dominant they are in the world of shooting. So you'll see the athletes now just going through the motions and the practice. So you see they lower the pistol to 45 degrees. And they have a 7-second rest period when they do that. And then once the pistol is raised for the shot. And then they have 3 seconds to take their shot in this 25-meter discipline. So the CS electronic targeting systems are there in the distance, 25 metres away from the athletes. You'll see those screens in between the athletes just to protect them from the shells of these rimfire pistols. And it's a 5-bullet magazine. And there's 1 allowable malfunction and 1 non-allowable malfunction permitted in this final. Those non-allowable or allowable malfunctions are then timed at 1 minute. So an allowable malfunction would be, say, a pistol jam. A non-allowable malfunction would be if an athlete was only to load 4 bullets rather than 5 into the magazine. That's just an example. So the world rankings, well, Republic of Korea haven't come to this World Cup. So no Kim Young-yam or Park Si-kyun. Normally familiar faces and names in a final such as this. So the load command has been given. So there you can see the athletes just loading those 5 bullets into the magazine. And this is where they just get a bit of practice just to settle in to the final. And it's very different from the qualification hall. And shooting out into the open air in this resplendent sunshine here in the United Arab Emirates. Temperatures around the early 30 degrees. It's dry, hot, sunny. And the temperature inside the actual finals hall, not too high. Just ideal, really. A nice day for a 25-metre competition. So the ready command is given for the sighting series. It's a very skilled discipline, is the 25 metres. I mean, all shooting categories are difficult, but this one, it's a lot of fun. There's lots of noise. There we go. So this is Manish Nawal. So experienced. Gold medalist in Lima at the World Championships 2023. So stop and unload is the command from the Chief Range Officer, which means we're about to go and get underway with the first final of this World Cup here in Al-Ain in 2025. Just a reminder of the world record, standing at 36 hits, set some 7 years ago, back in 2018. So here we go with the first series. So it's a hit or miss system, and the electronic targeting system in the distance, if it registers a 10.2 or higher, that will be a hit. And all of our targets in pistol, a 10.9 is the highest when we compete with the decimal events, whereas this one is just the hit and miss. So green lights is what you're looking for. So a real decent start from Bhatt and Singh of India. And Singh continues that hitting streak. Just one more for the perfect start. And Singh manages to nail that one. It's 5 out of 5 for the Indian. A great start. Applause from the crowd as well, and rightly so. What a start for the Indian athlete. So it's an Indian 1-2-3, a tie for second place. And Linares of Spain tied for fourth, alongside Koshek and David of Hungary. So now the second series of 5. And the first elimination comes after the 4th series. Well, Singh on 7 out of 7 so far. Great start. And that's the first miss for the Indian, but at the same time, to miss on shot 8 is world class. To have 7 in a row, just with that one miss, back into another hit for Singh. And that is a world-class start, 9 out of 10 for the athlete from India. Well, still a tie for second between the two Indian athletes of Bhatt and Nawal, both on 8 hits. Still a tie for fourth. This time it's just Koshek and David. Tie for 6th place as well. Decent start from Sui Haijing of People's Republic of China, who's in her first final at a World Cup. So Nihal Singh, who's on firing point E, just being attended to by the range officer and the jury in charge. He had a qualification score of 5.77. It was the highest qualifier, and is also the athlete who's made the best start in this final on 9 hits out of 10 so far. Chief Range Officer, your Klopp of Germany, just having a discussion with the jury in charge. That's Eddie Lim. You can just see, just leaning on the table of Singapore. Okay, so there are technical problems. I don't know, this looks as if it could be with the targeting system down onto the display on Singh's firing point. So the final will just be paused for the moment before we go into the third series. So if you have just joined us or you're just tuning in, welcome along. Thanks very much for coming. We're live for you on YouTube and also on the Paralympic channel. If you are taking part in the YouTube live chat, thank you very much for doing so. It's always nice to see your comments and to read through your love of shooting sport. So the technicians in the background are working on this to bring us back live coverage of this final as soon as we can. Well, some 38 countries have come to this World Cup here in Al-Ain. The perfect time of year as far as the weather's concerned here as well. In the summer, temperatures get up to 50 degrees and more around this time of year. Temperatures around 33 degrees Celsius today. Last time we were here for the World Cup, it was the World Championships even. In 2022 and 2023, those were the last two times we were here in Al-Ain. It was November and December respectively. So the weather was a lot cooler. So I've just been told the machines and the targeting systems are all being reset. What the exact technical issue was. Well, this is very unusual. I've just been told by the technical delegate, Henry Ocker of Indonesia, that we're going to be restarting this final and going back to the sighting series. Well, I think I've seen this before, but it's highly unusual. So if you have just tuned in, technically you haven't missed anything at all, because we're about to restart here in Al-Ain. Well, the athletes now just waiting patiently, as are the coaches. You can just see, just off camera, Ghislaine Briez of France, who is the competition manager, talking to Henry Ocker of Indonesia, who is the technical delegate for this competition. So we're going to go back to the sighting series of 2 minutes and then restart this final. So as it stood a few moments ago, Nihal Singh was on 9 hits out of 10. So Chief Range Officer Jörg Klopp of Germany has just restarted this entire final. We're going back to the sighting series. Well, a bit of drama here on day one of the WSPS World Cup in Al-Ain. And that's how they line up. 3 athletes from India, Uzbekistan, Spain, Czechia, People's Republic of China, and Hungary are the remaining countries who are represented in this final. My name is Rory McAllister. I'll be your commentator. Thanks very much for coming along, wherever you are watching from around the world. Well, if you have just come along, welcome to day 1 of competition at the WSPS World Cup, live for you on YouTube and also on the Paralympic channel. This final's had to be restarted because of technical issues with the targeting systems then registering to the monitors and to the CS equipment. CSR, the company behind the electronic targeting systems. Pretty much right the way across most of the shooting tournaments around the world. And again, more often than not, their equipment is highly reliable, highly accurate, but like everything in life, sometimes things don't always work out. So the end of the preparation times, and now we go into the sighting series. And the load command has been given by Jörg Klopp of Germany. Well, there's a great closer look at the grips on these rimfire pistols. You can see that moulded to the hands of the athlete. It really does make a difference as well. And it's the perspiration and sweat that you're trying to keep at a minimum. So you'll see a towel there on most of the tables for the athletes, because any wet palms, well, that's the enemy, if you like, in this particular event. So there's the ready commands. We're about to go again. So the athletes get 3 seconds to take their shot. Otherwise it's a 7-second rest period in between the shots. They then hold the pistol at a 45-degree angle during that 7 seconds. So stop and unload is the command from the Chief Range Officer as we now reset to start the final and the actual competition scoring. So the electronic targeting systems are down on what's known as bays, and above each target is a light, and that comes on red when you're not allowed to shoot, and then it comes on green when you are allowed to take your shot. There is a 7-second rest period, 3 seconds to take the shot, and if the targeting system registers 10.2 or higher, then you have a hit. So we've just had the second first series of this final. Now, I know our graphics were on screen and the systems here were restarted. And just for a few moments there, we were just seeing 0 across all the athletes. And now once again the range officer back to firing point E to see Nihal Singh of India. Well, on the screens I can see in front of me, it was Bart of India who managed to hit 4 out of 5. Missed the first one and got the remaining 4. Right, okay, so the chief range officer has now corrected this after calling the first series, and we were confused. Sergey, who sits next to me doing the graphics, we were pretty sure it was still sighting series, but the chief range officer called that the competition would start. Well, Ghislaine Briez of France, who is the competition manager, is helping from afar, just off camera. So it looks like, was that the first series? Again? It's certainly looking so. So Chief Range Officer now calls for the second series after this restart. So if you have just come along, we're live on YouTube and on the Paralympic channel. We had some technical issues earlier on. This final had to be restarted in its entirety. But Nihal Singh, who we're looking at the moment, before the final was restarted, after 2 series, had hit 9 out of 10. Now finds himself on a total of 2 with another miss. But meanwhile, leading the competition on 5 hits so far. Well, that concludes the second series of 5. Well, mixed performance from all 8 athletes in that particular series. And Bart, who'd hit 4 out of 5 after that first series, now adjusted after 10 shots, 2 series of 5. And Bart of India continues to lead with 6 hits out of 10. Tie for 3rd place. Much better start this time from Shui Hajing of People's Republic of China, tied alongside the illustrious Christina David of Hungary, both on 4 hits. So 3rd series now upon us. The athletes just trying to block out those last 2 series. Such a mental battle in the world of shooting. Forget what's gone before, reset and do your best. And that is one of the distinctions between some of the athletes who become world class, is the mental ability to be able to reset. And even after a good series, block it out of your mind, move on to the next one. Well, 3 series are now completed in this final. Again, another mixed performance from the 8 athletes in this final. And Amir Ahmedbhat of India is leading. 9 hits out of 15. A tie for second. Christina David tied alongside Kosek of Czechia, both on 7. A tie for 4th place as well. A close final so far. And now we go into the 4th series with another 5 shots.
Next series, ready. Attention.
Well, Bart is the first one into double figures. 1 to go in this series. And Bart with a miss on that last one, but finishes on a total of 11 out of 20 so far. So the first elimination now in this final. So Shaknoza Mamajanova of Uzbekistan, who was a gold medalist here in Al-Ain in the P4 2 years ago in 2023 at the World Cup. Also a silver medalist here in the P2. So the eliminations now come thick and fast. Every 5 shots we will have an elimination in the final of this WSPS World Cup. So Shaknoza Mamajanova seemed to be in good form as well. I had a quick chat with her before the final. Seemed very smiley, very happy. And I'm sure we'll reflect on this final and see that 8th place in a final at a WSPS World Cup is good going. So we now have a tie at the top. 3 athletes on a total of 9. Well, I thought for a moment in that last series that Bart had gone into double figures, but it seems like that's been adjusted. And it says his first shot in that series was a 0. Then it was a 10.5, a 9.6, a 10.3, a 9.7. So that's 2 hits. But our jury in charge, which is Eddie Lim of Singapore, is now over talking to Amir Ahmedbhat on firing point A of India. You can just see him in the distance. So is he... He's only loaded 4 bullets, is it? Yellow card. That's a non-allowable malfunction. I'm just trying to establish exactly what's happened here. So a green card issued to firing point A, Ahmedbhat, and we believe it was because the first shot was fired before the command. So hence why it was showing that Bart was in double figures. And there you can see that point penalty. Tough rules here at the World Cup. No error for margin, no margin for error. And of course paying attention to the Chief Range Officer's commands is also part and parcel of shooting. So it's a -2, hence why it was showing that Bart was on 11. And there's that point penalty now of 2 points. So Bart is reduced to 9 hits and therefore is tied for the lead. So there you can see now Bart on 9 hits alongside Shui of People's Republic of China and also Christina David of Hungary, also on 9. Well, what a remarkable final. Not only have we had a full restart after 2 series, but now we've had this drama and a green card issued to firing point A. So we've had the first elimination. That was Shaknoza Mamajanova of Uzbekistan. Now we have 7 athletes remaining and into the next series. And our next elimination will be coming up after these next 5 shots. Well, some noise from the crowd, which is always good to hear. Here we go. Well, another mixed performance right the way across the athletes. And it means that we do have our next elimination. That's how it stood after 20 shots, but now adjusted for 25. And the athlete from Spain on firing point D is leaving the final, Carlos Alberto Linares Molino. Well, he seems jolly enough, doesn't he? Well, after all, coming all the way from Spain and getting to this final of the WSPS World Cup here in Al-Ain. And the Spanish athlete leaves in 7th place. So now down to the final 6. Koshek trying to chase down a double-figure score. So the attention command given, the athletes lower the pistol to 45 degrees for a 7-second rest period. And then they have 3 seconds in which to take their shot. And you could just see there in the distance, the red lights above the targeting bays. And then the light turns green, and that signals the athletes to take their shot within 3 seconds. So Manish Nawal desperate for a hit here. 4 misses so far, a total of 12. And 5 misses in a row for the athlete from India. So we have our first and next elimination. I thought for a moment there we're going to have our first shoot-off, but just checking the scores. And Jakub Kosek is next to leave this final in 6th place. So Jakub Kosek came into that on a score of 9, chasing that double figures, did get it just with that one hit, but leaves the final on a total of 10. So 3 athletes from India remain. Hungary and People's Republic of China are the other countries represented in the remaining athletes in this final. A real nervy time in this final, because when you've had a few eliminations and you're still in the final, it's hard to not begin to think about the podium and the medals. Christina David having a great series here, 3 out of 5 so far. And our next elimination, it's now Shui Haojing of People's Republic of China in her first final at a World Cup for WSPS. And Shui Haojing takes a bow. And a terrific performance really to come to this final and finish in 5th place. And I'm sure that's not the first time we'll see People's Republic of China in a final whilst we're here in Al-Ain. So down to the final 4. One athlete has to go. Are we heading for a shoot-off? Will there be a clear 4th?
Next series, ready.
So Nihal Singh needs a decent visit to try and stay in this final. Currently on a total of 14.
Attention.
Well, this is a terrific series from both Bart and David. Will they get a 5 out of 5? Well, Christina David has managed it. She had a poor start when this final first started. The whole thing was then restarted, and Christina David has had a much better performance because of it. So Nihal Singh, again, who had a decent start the first time we started this final. He was on 9 out of 10 after 2 series of 5. And then the entire final got restarted. And now for Nihal Singh, after finishing the top qualifier with a total of 577. So many medals as well. Silver medal in the P3 and the 25-metre pistol at World Cups. Also a silver medalist in 2022 at the Asian Para Games. He's also been a silver medalist in Osijek in the P4, SH1, couple of years ago, 2023. So Nihal Singh, plenty of medals during his career, just no medal today. So 2 medals guaranteed for India. Can Christina David keep up this lead? Always interesting, these 25-metre finals. Christina David, 3 misses so far, but on the other hand, up to a total of 23. A great performance from the Indian athlete in this series. Is it going to be 5 out of 5? Well, it was a 10, I think, on that final shot. So Manish Narwal is the first medalist of this WSPS World Cup here in Al-Ain 2025. India will take the first place on the podium. And for Manish Narwal, here in our first final on day 1 of competition, it's a bronze medal for India. Okay, well, it looks like there's another problem. The technical delegate just off camera, that's Henry Oka of Indonesia, was just having a word with the chief range officer. So it looks like there's been a further technical issue. Therefore, I don't think the bronze medal has been awarded. So just when we thought the first medal of this Al-Ain WSPS World Cup had been claimed, and we're just working out now what happens now. Well, once we get word of exactly what's happening here, we will let you know. There's clearly more technical issues, which is a bit of a shame, really, because we were all set to go. And we were certainly enjoying the final when it first started. The entire final was then restarted after 2 series of 5 shots. Just a few moments ago, we thought we had our first medalist of this Al-Ain WSPS World Cup, but it appears not. So there's going to be a shoot-off for the bronze medal. Well, here comes the jury in charge. This is Eddie Lim of Singapore. Right, so let's see what's happening. Well, clearly a discussion taking place down on the front desk. We'll just see now what the Chief Range Officer Jörg Klopp of Germany, and now what news he can bring us. Well, there's been plenty of drama in this final so far. Not only an entire restart after those 2 series of 5 shots, but now just when we thought we had the first bronze medal awarded, it's now been decided that there was another technical issue with some of the shots being recorded. And are we now going to restart with a shoot-off for the bronze medal? Well, Chief Range Officer's up out of his seat. You don't often see this. So we're just waiting a decision now and some clarity as to what's happening in this final. Unfortunately, we've had technical difficulties on the first day of competition here in the final itself. I know the CS technicians in the background working as hard as they can to try and rectify and sort out what's gone wrong here.
Which country?
Well, meanwhile, thanks very much for coming along today on day one of the coverage of the WSPS World Cup here in Al-Ain. The first final being the P3 mixed 25 metre pistol SH1 classification. We just thought that we had decided our first bronze medal, but we're now seeing whether or not the athlete will come back. That was Manish Narwal of India, and whether or not we're going to have a shoot-off, or whether or not the decision stands that he is the bronze medalist. Well, this is day one, and sometimes problems happen. Hopefully the final later on won't be affected by technical issues such as this. The R3 final, that's the mixed 10 metre air rifle prone, is coming up at local time 3:30 here in the UAE. And then tomorrow we have one final for you, the R4 mixed 10 metre air rifle standing SH2. And then day three will be our first finals, where we have four in the schedule. The R7, R8, the P1 and P2 all in one day. Day four will go outside. That's for the para trap finals, all three of them in one afternoon. The PT1, PT2 and PT3. Day five, which is this coming Saturday, when I'm back indoors for the P4 mixed 50 metre pistol SH1. Also with the R1, back to the rifle competitions. The R2 final, and then the mixed team SH2 will culminate day 5, which is another day of 4 finals. Then Sunday, day 6, just 2 finals, 2 mixed team events. And then on day 7, after we have a day of no finals next Monday, the 3rd of November, we're back for day 7 of this World Cup on Tuesday, the 4th of November. With the R6 final, that's the mixed 50 metre rifle prone SH1, and the final event of this World Cup will be the R9 final, which is the mixed 50 metre prone rifle SH2. Meanwhile, thanks for coming along, thanks for joining us on YouTube and across the Paralympic channel. Ordinarily, a final such as this will have been completed, well, almost some 20-25 minutes ago. But technical issues have held us up here in Al-Ain. We thank you very much for your patience, and we're doing our best. All the technicians are working very hard and very quickly. There's the technical delegate, that's Henry Oka of Indonesia. He was also the technical delegate of the ISSF Junior World Cup a few weeks ago in India. He's once again a technical delegate for this competition. Now surely we're not going to be starting again, but I think that's what could be happening. Well, this is absolutely remarkable. If we're starting all over again. So we have a preparation and sighting time now for the remaining athletes after that delay. So I thought for one moment there they were going to start the entire final again. Well, remarkable scenes here in Al-Ain. This is certainly the first time I've seen a final develop like this. So the CS technicians are just in the technical room and the jury are gathered. Competition managers here. And I think that we're now giving the two remaining athletes that preparation and sighting time. Well, there's still lots of discussions going on just off camera. You can see the competition manager, Ghislaine Briers of France, is trying to assist and talking to the chief range officer, Jörg Klopp of Germany. So now Bart of India and David of Hungary, both at opposite ends of the firing points.
Attention.
Well, 10.3 from both athletes, so that's a hit for both. Now this is a sighting series, but I know that both athletes opened with a hit and there was a miss from both. Well, there's more confusion now because Amir Ahmed Bhatt of India appears to have only taken 4 shots, or that's certainly what we've got registered here.
Next series. Ready. Attention.
So I believe now that's the end of the sighting series, and we're back into the competition and into the final series. So Christina David so far has hit a 10.8, a 10.6. So those 2 hits. 9.6 on that last shot, so that's a miss for David. Meanwhile, it's just 1 hit for Bart. Now that's the gold medal secured. Well, big cheers for Amir Ahmed Bhatt and India. 26-21. But Christina David was on 21 with those 3 hits, so a final score of 27-24. So after one of the longest P3 finals I've ever seen, probably the same for you as well. So much confusion, technical issues, but we got there in the end, and we had the first gold medalist of this WSPS World Cup in Al-Ain 2025, Amir Ahmed Bhatt. for India, takes the gold, adding to those silver medals that he picked up in the Oshek World Cup a few years ago. Also silver in Changwon, and he also took a gold medal there in Changwon earlier this year, 2025. So the second gold medal of World Cups for Amir Ahmed Bart of India. And then Christina David of Hungary takes the silver medal, another medal to add to her career. Christina David once again will be on the podium. So Manish Nawal of India now officially announced as the bronze medalist in this final. Christina David of Hungary with the silver. Well, India will have two athletes on the podium. It's a bronze and a gold, and a very stoic and patient performance from Amir Ahmed Bart to get over the line and take the gold with a winning score of 27 hits to Christina David's 24 hits. Two medals for India, a bronze and a gold, and it's silver for Hungary. Do join us later today. We have another final for you, live on YouTube and across the Paralympic channel. The final will begin at 3:30 local time here in Al-Ain, the R3 Air Rifle Prone SH1 mixed event. So do join us for that live on YouTube and the Paralympic channel later today on day one.